What is up, guys? As you can see, today we're gonna be reviewing another pro game in Arena of Valor, and today we'll be looking at the series that Mad played against TXO recently. I believe it was about a week ago, and yeah, a lot of people told me to check this out because it actually was a very exciting one, and I'm jumping straight into game 4. It is already 2-1 for TXO, so the old SMG team is winning against the old JT team, the classic rivalry in the GCS if you have been following this. And I chose this game because if you read the patch notes, you notice that she was buffed recently and she's already being picked by Sirenia in the top lane with Flicker, so we will see if he will be able to do some nice plays. Yuzon ends up getting ganked instantly by the Darcy Chichi, and he disrespects the 130, 125 gank, and he just ends up dropping to it. And Chi can push out this wave and probably go back. Probably doesn't even need to, she seems to be full health. And on the side of Mad, we have that Murad coming out, always a really fun hero to watch. Stars, Ignis is also really enjoyable to watch usually, he plays it very well. The Darcy ult comes out but doesn't hit anyone, and that she just ends up overextending and dying. Also something interesting, she is running the Devil's Awakening, so whenever she gets that juicy combo, if she hits like 3 or 4 people in a team fight with the ult, she will also be having that damage reduction, she will have the cooldown reduction, and she will also reset half of her cooldowns on her first 2 abilities. So that's gonna be very exciting because she will be able to S1 flicker into the team fight, hit 3 to 4 people with the ult because the range got buffed, and then she will almost have the S1 ready again, so she can just knock up those 3 people again while they're stunned. So I'm not sure if this is the best enchantment, I'm not sure if I would take it on her, I haven't tested the buffed one yet. Here you see her miss her ult, but yeah, it seems like a pretty decent choice for sure. And you can see the shield got completely nerfed, almost no one is running it anymore. On Ignis, of course, it's still a good choice, and Valheim is still running it because he's just afraid of that Murad, afraid of that Florentino diving him, and that is why he's just trying to run away from those when they start bursting. I mean, it's still a good choice. It also, I believe they buffed the health, like the lifesteal, the magic lifesteal on it, or they gave it magic lifesteal, which it didn't have before. And actually I think it did have, but very little. So that is also decent for Valheim, he does a lot of magic damage with his abilities. And I assume Hanzo is gonna go for a little bit of a magic damage build, like he usually does on this mid lane Valheim. His Death Sickle ends up getting popped, so that is gone for Valheim there. And it's actually very, I just noticed it, they're playing Rourke side lane as well, with Sprint and with Devil's Awakening as well. So this is a really crazy game right now. But I feel like the Rourke side lane doesn't make too much sense against that enemy comp. We'll see if it pays off. But I feel like the Talanas and the Ignis can just kite it really well and just burst down the shield really well, and then it will just get stunned by Ignis, it will get stunned by Murad, it will get stunned by Timmy, and then it just won't be able to do much. But we shall see, maybe he will prove us wrong. Of course, Liang, one of the best side laners, so yeah. But really interesting picks coming through. Also the mid lane Valheim is something Hanzo likes to do. I already showed you one game with it, but he doesn't usually do it that often, so also a pretty interesting pick here. And you can see they're just pressuring bot lane tower, they end up getting half of it. Timmy got hooked by the Darcy ult, but it is fine. Also very interesting, Mad, or the old JT roster, they stuck around for so long, but now they replaced 2 of their players for 2 new ones. So this is actually the first game I'm checking out of this new roster, so we'll see if these 2 players deliver. The Murad is playing pretty well so far, so is the Timmy, so I guess it might have been a good choice. But very interesting that they actually swapped Neil out of the jungle. If you watched my AWC review videos, you know how much I praise Neil in the jungle, so it is very surprising that they... So this 3.27 guy must be really good to warrant this change. Or maybe Neil just got bored of the jungle and was like, okay, I just want to play side lane, you can go jungle. Maybe it was that, but I somehow doubt it, because he seemed to be having fun playing that well, of course. So anyway, you can see here that Rourke actually bursts at Talana so hard, but she gets revived by the teamie, but just gets caught by the Valdomult, and he just gets the kill. He gets the kill on the teamie as well. Does he end up dying to the tower? He does not. And the Rourke gets out with 10 HP as well. Chi-Chi gets a kill as well, but I assume he will die. Yep, he dies. And Yuzon manages to flicker away. Very well played by Yuzon. However, TXO got 3 kills for 1 on the whole map for that. So they are currently in a approximately 1k gold lead, but they will get around half of this tower. They got around 1/3, pretty good, pretty decent. As I always say, you gotta poke the mid tower. As soon as you get the mid tower, you open up both sides of the jungle, you open up the invades. Really a huge advantage usually. So getting that 1/3 is pretty good for them. Now you see, actually interesting, both supports are running the same enchantment. I believe it's the one that raises your max HP, but I'm actually not sure. I haven't seen this image, to be honest. Not many people run that one. I saw a lot of supports run the one that increase health regen, like Annette and Zip, but of course they have healing. These two don't really have healing. I don't think Team Ult counts as healing. It's like a revive thing, so I'd actually have to look up this enchantment. As you guys know, I never play support, so I unfortunately don't know this one. But yeah, a lot of Devil's Awakenings coming out, and of course a lot of the Red Sword enchantment, which very interesting that they run it on Talnas as well. She does quite a bit of, like, she has very fast attack speed, so she can apply it pretty fast. But I feel like for ranged heroes in general, it's pretty hard to apply, because for the melee heroes, you only need half the stacks, because every damage thing counts twice. So usually I see it mostly on melee heroes. So now they're just in that farming phase, both teams right now, clearing out their jungle. Most of it is cleared now. TXO is trying to pressure the bot lane. Yuzon realizes he will just die to the S1 flicker by Chi if he doesn't respect it, so he just backs out, leaves that tower. They have to pretty much give it up. They're focused on defending the mid lane tower, and they managed to do so for now. They have to get the bot lane wave now though, and they have to clear their red buff soon. You can see Liang is playing very, very aggressively, has to pop the ult to get away there. He was trying to hide in the little bush right next to the jungle camp at the blue side, but he ended up deciding it is way too greedy and he ran away. He didn't pop his sprint though. The ult has a pretty long cooldown, but it's manageable compared to the sprint. It's like 30 seconds less than sprint, so that is not too bad. And Star actually pops his Purify here, still gets caught by the Baldomult, ends up getting away though, but the Murad ends up dying after getting revived by the team ult. And now Chi just went really deep but had to go out. And now, yeah, it's pretty much a 1-for-1. However, TXO only lost their support, Mad lost their jungler, which is inarguably way worse. So definitely a victory for TXO there. However, Mad just starts the dragon. TXO doesn't realize, but they don't care because they just want to push the mid lane. Mad realizes and they have to back out to defend that. The teammate gets caught again, flickers away though, so he's fine for now. And now, oh my god, this is crazy. This Rourke damage is absolutely insane, so I guess he is proving us wrong. We have to check out that build. He ends up dying for it. He ends up wasting his Death Sickle enchantment as well. However, he got the kill on the wave clear. He poked a lot of the people. He like pressured them under their tower. So that's just a free dragon for TXO right there. And we can see the Rourke build is Blitzblade into Rank Breaker into Omni Arms with CC reduction boots. That is pretty interesting. And the Darcy is still going double Apocalypse, like Jungle Apocalypse and Apocalypse build. I'm not sure if they changed it back where you can do that again, or if he's just, I don't know, he just wants the stats. I'm not quite sure. I imagine if the passive of Apocalypse gets used instead of the passive of the jungle item, it's still worth to just get the big jungle item for the stacks, possibly, because as you know, you have to buy the full one for the maximum 30 stacks, I think. So it might still be worth, but I'm not sure if you just made a mistake there or if it got changed again. Anyway, TXO is really getting those towers right now. Only a 2,000 gold lead though. They're 4 dragons ahead. 2 towers ahead, and it's only a 2,000 gold lead. Liang just ends up dying, being so deep again. He will die to the crazy play by Star there, as you can see. He ends up kiting everyone with the shields. And yeah, just crazy play there. With the S1, of course, if you keep spamming that S1 onto the marked targets, you keep getting the shield as an Ignis, you keep getting the movement speed buff. And that just made him get away. And you can see there, Hanzo popped his shield enchantment, but you saw that the movement speed is really, like, I believe it was even removed completely. So you can see the enchantment really got the deserved nerf that it needed. It is still okay, I assume, to save you from clutch situations, because the cooldown is very low still. That is one of the strengths of that enchantment, but you can see without the movement speed buff, it is just way worse than it used to be, luckily. So you can see Valheim actually went a full 80 build this time. So he won't be making any, he won't be taking advantage of that Magic Lifesteal on that new enchantment now. So pretty questionable choice in my opinion, but I guess it kind of saved his life there. It prevented some damage. They get the free dragon again. Mad's dragon control really not that good right now. I feel like they could be doing more, especially with the Murad. He has that little minion. He can always poke the people out of that area. They have a Telenas. They can burst the dragon really fast, but they did end up getting the Slayer during that time, so it ended up working for them anyway. And Neil is just trying to poke that tower, but he decides he has to back away from the Darcy and stay a little bit safer. Now his team is backing him up though. As soon as he knows he has that team ult next to him, he can just go balls deep, and they end up completely demolishing them. Chi gets caught as well. Yeah, that's a complete wipeout. Murad jumped in, poked everyone. Yuzon just flickered in, followed up, and just ended up killing 2 people with the Florentino. And now Liang tried to jump in and clear the wave. Couldn't do it, of course. If people stand in front of the minions, Rourke can't do anything. And that is the 2-2 for this series. Of course, it is a best of 5. I will be uploading the 5th game as well. I already checked it out. It was some interesting picks as well. So look forward to that in a couple days. And yeah, let's check out the damage numbers and the builds of everyone. And you can see there the new players of Mad. I don't know which one of the new players is which, but yeah. Let's see the damage numbers. MVP, Yuzon, the builds. Pretty standard builds. You can take a screenshot if you want. I'll also be linking the original video with the timestamp. Interesting Chi build going for the rank breaker and then going very defensively actually. I feel like you could go a little bit more offensive on that hero, in my opinion, especially in the side lane. But I will be uploading a King of Glory video about that very soon. So look out for that as well. And then we can check the damage numbers. Actually 30% by the side lane Rourke. So I take everything back. He played phenomenally. His team did not, unfortunately, so he did not end up winning, but that Rourke played really well. 30% as a Rourke is really hard, especially if you have a Darcy and a Valheim in your team. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any other games for me to check out in other leagues maybe. And if you enjoyed, leave a like, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, boys. Bye-bye.